Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Brad, and with me is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. We are coming to you virtually today because Jamie has decided to test positive for COVID, and we're going to play it on the safe side and avoid each other until he gets a negative test.
And we've been trying to record this thing for quite a while now. So
And Jamie's good and pissed off by now. So.
I am. Not at anybody in particular, just
should be a shit show. But
yeah, pretty much.
So big news out of last week was Bruton Smith passing away at 95 years old. Passed away on the 22nd of last week. Bruton was the founder of Speedway Motorsports. He was, a legendary figure in the NASCAR scene, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Marcus Smith and his family and all the employees that are attached to Bruton. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you right now during this time of need.
Yeah, our prayers are with you.
And some good news that come out of last week, Dale Jr. has announced that he will be racing in the Racing Revival race at North Wilkesboro Speedway in the Cars Tour Late Model Stock Division. And he will be running on August 31st, and we plan on being there. Isn't that right?
Yeah, dang, that was our best take so far, too.
Finally got that name out, man. Good Lord. Like Racing. So I don't know where the Racing Revival thing came from. It might not even be what it's called. But
do you think maybe it has to do with the revival of North Wilkesboro?
No, actually, I think it's just in my head for some reason. Maybe I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter. It's official or not, but I liked how it sounded, so I rolled with it.
Did you guys pitch a tent in the parking lot at church Sunday and have an old-time revival?
Whew. Well, so the Cars Tour races are going to be held on the 30th and the 31st. Dale Jr. is going to have two cars down there in the race, but he's only going to be running on the 31st. But as we've said in other takes that you'll never hear, we will be there for both races, the 30th and the 31st, and should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I think it's going to be awesome. With the race before and the race with them.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited to go see some racing at North Wilkesboro Speedway. So I've only ever seen it in video. I've never seen it in person. So it'll be cool to actually say I've been to a race there.
But wait, there's more.
So Thursday night at Atlanta Motor Speedway is the Legends Cars Thursday night championship race. And me and Jamie will be there covering that event as long as he tests negative.
Yes.
That should be cool, man. From what I've seen of this out of this season's races in the Legend Series over at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it had a lot of good battles going on, and it's been some exciting racing this year. So I think it's going to come down to some good racing Thursday night to close out the championship. I'm looking forward to being there.
And you talk about the roots of racing.
Yeah,
that's kind of historic, isn't it?
Well,
but at least the babies of racing. Bandoleros and Legends. I mean, those are kids, and they're our future.
Oh, no doubt. It'll be a good time. It's always good racing over there on that little track. So, Speaking of good racing, your favorite SRX series was back this weekend at South Boston Speedway in Virginia.
Boy, the Cirque series did not disappoint me this weekend.
I tell you what, man, a pissed off Tony Stewart is good for racing, and it's extremely good for TV broadcast.
Or as Mr. Ribs called him, Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony. Ribs is good for the broadcast too, man.
Ribs. Job. He does. I'm surprised that he's not going to be calling some NASCAR.
Dude, Tony and Ernie Francis go after it after the heat race. Kind of a heated debate. But it was cool after Tony said what he had to say. Ernie tried to chime back in, and you couldn't hear him, but you could just look at their expressions. And Tony, when he was done, he was done. And he just kept giving Ernie that look of, yeah, keep talking. I'm not listening, dude. I'm done.
Yeah, but And Ernie told Mr. Ribs, I'm going to get on his back bumper again.
Yeah, we see how
Ernie
that
don't
worked.
care.
See how that worked out for him.
Well, I think it kind of put that fire under Tony's ass, where
Yeah.
Tony said, "This is how I make smoke," and he smoked them all. he beat them all.
He has that name.
Yeah, he beat the snot out of every other car on the track.
So Tony goes in there before the main event. Tony makes a statement: "If you run into me, I'm going to run into you twice as hard." So Marco Andretti goes out there, gets into Tony, pushes him up the track to take the lead. And I swear to you, it was like the next 20 or 30 laps. Every lap, Tony would get right up against Marco and just beat the crap out of the rear end of that car.
Oh, it was awesome. And then did you see Michael Waltrip?
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. I mean,
oh, man. He was going to get revenge on Michael Hunter-Reay. I mean, I don't know if he was on the radio or just yelling at himself.
Well, he did. He like body slammed him, and it destroyed both their cars, basically ruined both their nights.
But, I mean, he was so animated in the driver's seat, Michael was. I was like, oh, he's going to kill him.
Michael's a big dude, too.
Yeah. He was, you see how hot he was when he got out of the car?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure it was.
I
mean, I bet it was probably in the mid-90s. I mean, we know how hot it's been here in Atlanta. I can imagine how hot it is everywhere else in the South. So, those guys in those cars are burning up.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the best package race going right now.
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR fans as a whole, we've been screaming for short tracks. Well, we get a new car that doesn't produce the same kind of action we like on short tracks, but we have SRX here in a car that's designed for short tracks, and it's good. I mean, it's not even good racing; it's great racing. I mean, that was entertaining from start to finish. I could do without the in-race, like the pre-race or mid-race breaks where they show the whatever historic segments. I mean, when I'm in racing
Ryan
mode,
Newman's wrecked car and his collection.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching that. I like watching it, just not during the race. I mean, you give me 2 heat races, I'm ready. I'm in race mode. My adrenaline's pumping. I want to sit down. I want to watch racing. That's all I want to do. And then you got to take a break. My adrenaline stops pumping. My heart rate gets back down. I slow down. And then you give me more racing. Just give me racing, man. That's all I want.
You give me this other stuff later. After 5 laps of the main event, weren't you back in it?
Oh, no doubt. I guess I really was, but still, I found myself flipping channels. Like, I guess when I start watching racing, I just want to stick with racing. I don't need to bounce around to something else, That's just me. That's all. I mean, no reason to change it. It's still exciting. I will say this. It was kind of cool race to look at the finishing order and see 1, 2, 3, and 4, all former NASCAR superstars. You had Tony Stewart winning the race at South Boston, Greg Biffle bringing it home second, Bobby Labonte bringing it home third, and Rocket Man Ryan finishing fourth. I mean, just like a scene out of 2002.
Who was it that was in fifth?
I don't know.
Wasn't that Hirio? Wasn't it Hirio Castroneves?
Are you still trying to figure out how to pronounce it?
No, now I'm just doing it to piss you off.
I don't think either one of us pronounced it right. So
I think it's Helio.
It's Helio. It's Elio.
How did you get an E out of H? That's not even Spanish.
My wife says it's Elio.
Oh my God! I'm going to call my friend Ernie Nunes and ask him.
It can't be Helio. That's a helicopter. And he did finish 5th. Tony Kanaan finished 6th. But
yeah, I'm calling Ernie.
It's Elio. It's got to be Elio. How do you say? I'm
calling Ernie.
Well, you said Julio last week.
No, I said Helio.
Elio.
H is a J, J is an H in pronunciation.
Well, it's not Julio.
It's Helio.
It's Elio.
Helio.
We need to phone a Spanish friend.
That's who my friend Ernie Nunes is.
Oh, man.
Actually, he's Ernesto. But what's weird is he doesn't have an H in front of the E. It's an E that's just an E. Actually, I think I mispronounced his last name. I think it's Nunez.
You're killing me, Smalls.
All right, let's move on. But let's not forget, outside of NASCAR, he's my favorite driver, so I better learn it, huh?
Yeah, you need to learn how to pronounce his name. I mean, we've got.
I'd hate to bump into him.
We've said it 4 different ways, and most likely all 4 are wrong.
And more than likely, we're going to see him at the 24 hours next year.
And we're gonna mispronounce it then too.
And you have full access to everybody, so we'll be there in front of him, and I'll be mispronouncing his name.
Julio.
Julio, you're my favorite driver.
Julio Castron Evers.
We'll get it correct by then. We'll get ahead. We'll get a hold of Ernesto.
You got plenty of time to get Rosetta Stone so you can learn how to say his name.
Maybe I'll do some research on YouTube videos.
I watched the truck race and Xfinity race this weekend, and I'll be honest, man. The racing overall at Nashville was kind of lackluster for me. I thought it was cool to see Junior Motorsports go out and win a 6th race this season, giving Justin Allgaier his 6th race win of this year. He goes out and dominates the race, leading 134 of 188 laps. I mean, JRM, dude, they're just checking them off. Stage win, stage win, stage win, stage win. Just one after another.
They're the dominant team, and
dude,
there's no questions.
Hands down. I mean, Dale Jr. keeps hinting. I know they did their live show Friday from Old Reds down in Nashville, and he said we'd be very impressed if we knew how many conversations Kelly has had trying to make Junior Motorsports, a Cup team, a reality. I don't know if it's next year. Dude, on Friday's live episode from Old Reds of the Dale Jr. Download, they were talking about Martin Truex Jr. He's announced he's coming back next year. And Dale Jr. said, man, I was kind of hoping it would go full circle and Truex would come help me start my Cup team.
And that's what I predicted.
Dude, when he said that, Jamie has so said this. This is a conspiracy Jamie started on our podcast, and Dale Jr.'s buying into it. And he probably hasn't even heard the podcast that I know of. He might have.
I doubt it. But
he's buying into our belief.
I think the long length of time it took Martin to make the decision was because
Kyle's out.
No, because the Earnhardts were negotiating for a charter and they didn't get it.
Or Kyle's out. Maybe there was only room for 3 to come back. Maybe Kyle's out.
Yeah, we haven't heard about Kyle yet either.
Yeah. I mean, it's still up in the air.
But, I was thinking while I was watching a lousy performance of the 20 car yesterday, there's room.
That wasn't his fault. And
there's room for, but he's not performing well. And you know how Joe Gibbs is with young drivers.
He finished better. Well. He finished better than Truex and Busch did. So
they got championships.
We're going to talk about that.
All right. Let me not jump it.
So, was Nashville a good race? The Jeff Gluck poll. As of 5 hours into it, roughly 10, 11,000 votes, something like that. 71% says yes, 29% say no. I voted no. I vote no. And I just want to clarify this because somebody on Twitter wanted to point out that I voted no because of the start time. That is completely incorrect. I, for one, could get on board a 5 p.m. start time, get my whole day done, sit down for the evening, watch some racing, go to bed. I'm good with that.
Now, I hated the start time.
My problem with the start time is in the southeastern portion of the United States of America, months between May, September, it rains almost every afternoon. We have these things called pop-up showers. It's hot. It's humid. It happens. But let's just plan the flipping race for the same time as the rain. Yesterday, if we would have started like old school time and started at, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we would have been done with the race by the time the rain even hit. I'm just saying. They do it because of TV, but that's not why I voted no. I voted no because other than restarts, I didn't think it was that exciting. I mean,
Well,
10
I
laps, they would
voted
race side by
yes.
side, but I didn't think it was that exciting.
I voted yes. I didn't think it was that exciting, but let's do it more comparable where you and I can, because if we did a 1 out of 10 based on the poll, it'd be rated a 7.
See,
Where
I would
would
say
you rate it?
I would give it a 4 on a 1 out of 10. And look, stage 3 was exciting. You started to see some strategy play out, and then you had some really stupid strategy at the very end. But in my opinion, this car does not do well on flat tracks or concrete tracks. I think the concrete tracks, dirty air plays more of a factor. Dirty air played a big factor yesterday. I don't like to see the dirty air concept or part of it. It's just not my style of racing that I enjoy. I did not I didn't think it was bad. I didn't even think it was a waste of time. Heck, I stayed up till midnight and watched the race.
I
I
went to bed
didn't
and finished it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't mind I didn't all that. None of that bothered me. And it was good enough to keep me up all night, I guess, but the first
So
stage, boring,
you
in my
weren't
opinion.
you weren't pissed off at the start time, but you voted no. I was pissed off at the start time. Even went to bed and finished it early this morning before I went to work, and I voted yes. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And I'm going to tell you why. I thought, and I sent you a text before I went to bed. I thought Denny Hamlin had the car. Even though
I thought Joe
Truex was
Gibbs had
leading
it.
more, Kyle Busch was leading, but I thought Hamlin had the car. And then when I finished the race in the morning, I couldn't believe they pitted at the end of the race. What was it? 13
Mind
laps? What
mind
the
blown.
heck?
Mind blown. Poof. I did
All of
look,
them pitted.
I got this in my notes here. So it was 9 laps to go. Caution comes out, if I'm remembering correctly, and they decide to pit. We went
Who the hell
green.
does that?
We go green with 6 laps to go. I think the top 11 cars stayed out. There's no way on this track in this car you were going to make up 11 positions. It happened all night. You saw good cars get pushed to the back. They never made it back. It was just
And now
stupid.
what bumped this from a 5 to a 6 was the winner. My favorite
I
driver.
try my favorite. Yeah, I'm with you. I try to leave the winner out of it. I try to take the broadcast because if I voted use the broadcast as any indication of is it a good race, I would have voted no to every race up until yesterday. I'd have voted yes. So I take the broadcast out. I take the race winner out of it.
Now
I
you
take
sound like a journalist.
and I take the start time out. All that I watch is green flag racing or start to finish. First green flag to checkered. Every other flag in the middle of that, whatever. I don't care. But it's from start to finish. What the product on the track. That is 100% all I'm rating it off of.
Well, I
Based on
thought
that, I give it a 4.
strategy and pits made a difference. Pit stops. Look at Bubba.
Bubba, yeah.
I mean,
Just
poor
speaking of
Bubba.
pit
What
stops,
the hell?
his pit crew hates him. Dude, I think Booty has been out of the game way too long, and it's
What are
starting
they
to
trying
show.
to prove?
Booty
They
don't
need a
know
new
the damn.
driver?
Booty don't know the rules. I mean, we saw it firsthand at the Coke 600, and then they're well out of pit road, and Booty's going stop, stop, stop. What's he do? He stops, and Freddie goes, "We stopped. We got hit." Like no shit. So I don't know what
What the?
Booty. They need to look. I'm just gonna say it. Booty needs to go. Booty needs to be replaced. It's time for a mid-season pick crew chief change on the 23. Booty is out. Get
Well,
somebody in.
obviously they got some Xfinity crew chiefs that can handle.
Look, dude, and it's not, if you think about it, Bubba's has been the worst, but it's really all of Toyota, all of Joe Gibbs. Their pit crews have not been what they're used to. We're used to seeing Joe Gibbs dominate pit crews in the pits, but not so.
Do you think the re-signing of Kyle Busch has taken such a burden on Coach Gibbs that he's not willing to throw money at a problem this year, and that's affecting all the teams, including
No,
Bubba Wallace? I mean, he's not really as a team, but it's affiliate.
no. I think it's this new choreographed pit sequence they're trying to make work that's not working. It's causing problems. I think that's their problem. And
Well,
because they're trying to practice two different styles, some one week they run one way, the other week they run another way. One team's doing it left, the other team's going right. Because there's no consistency and they're trying to change it up, that's why we're having the issue. Now, that being said, this year they could figure it out, and next year they could dominate again with this new choreographed pit stop. But that's next year. Right now, they need to be worried about this year.
I feel real bad for Bubba.
Oh, I said it last night. I'm like, do they hate him? Like legit. They must hate their driver because every week he busts his butt to get up front, and every week his pit crew loses the race for him. I mean, they said Michael Jordan was there yesterday. I expected to see on TV Michael Jordan just going on the pit box and throwing crap.
That's what I expected. Just tools start flying out the pit road.
They're going to have a penalty. Her caution comes out because computer screens are flying across pit road.
Or the pit box just gets flipped over.
Yeah, you see the pit box just tumble off into the pit road. I mean, there's no way. There's no way.
Dude, how many could Kurt win if he had decent pit crews?
Well, one a year.
I think he's been with cheaper and crappier equipment than, always had bad pit crews. But I have a feeling this could have been a 3 or 4 win for him if he had decent pit crews.
Oh, definitely. I think the pit crew, Bubba would have a win. I don't know if he'd have a win, but he'd be dang sure a lot closer to having a win this season if he had the right pit crew behind him.
I think he would have a win.
So I heard Chase Elliott has garnered the new nickname Concrete Chase since he's won the only 2 concrete races in this new car.
So are we going to say later he can only win in concrete? Because beginning of the season we said he can only win on road courses.
I hate that nickname. I really hope it doesn't stick. I mean, he decided.
He's proven he can win on everything.
Well, he decided last night, or he didn't. Alan Gustafson decided not to have Chase pit with only a couple laps to go in the race. Genius. We'll just leave our driver out like everybody else is going to.
You think Coach Gibbs took any notes?
Coach Gibbs has got to be pissed.
Or what if he made the decision because all his cars did it? Well, the 3 that were leading.
He won't. He didn't make. I don't know. I don't think he doesn't. I doubt he second guesses his guys. So.
But why did they all make the same decision? You would have thought 1 out of the 3 crew chiefs would have just said, "Stay out, stay out."
You would think, but that's what we get for thinking.
Well,
it's easy.
The meetings today.
It's easy to think today.
Well, whoever made the decision is in hot water today.
No doubt. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I think Coach Gibbs stands behind his guys.
Well, here's the thing. The drivers must have agreed with him. At least Hamlin and Busch would have said no if they didn't agree with it. I mean, That's my opinion. I think Hamlin, if he didn't agree with him, was, "No, I'm staying out, boys."
Well, Chase Elliott stayed out, and that seemed to have paid off because he wins the race. So,
and look,
I'm good with
Busch
that. Chase Elliott.
Kurt Busch didn't have a second place car. He did have a top 10. He stayed out. Bam, got a second place. Helps with points. He's also got one win, and people need to worry about points even with one win. So
Yep.
Kurt should have stayed out, and Truex should have stayed out because Truex doesn't even have a win. But anyway,
and Chase
that's
is now
just.
locked. Chase is essentially locked into the playoffs now with 2 wins.
I'm just a moron in the stands, so I don't know anything.
No, less you know, the better off you are. Brad Keselowski, 2 laps to go, gets into the wall going into turn 4. As he hits the wall, he is obviously turning towards pit road. His spotter, TJ Majors, gets over the radio saying, "Stay out, stay out, stay out," in hopes that a caution comes out. I mean, I understand why you're hoping that, because it's going to ruin your night if it doesn't come out. If it comes
Should have
out,
came out. Should have.
obviously a caution does not come out, and we finish under green. On the last lap, dude, on the final white flag lap, they show the pack coming down the back straightaway. Chase leading the pack. Brad Keselowski in the grass, bouncing as he's trying to avoid the cars. Not a good look.
I like the outcome, but can you imagine if Brad got hit because an accident took place and he's poking along in second gear with his tire beating up his car and he gets plowed by 2 or 3 cars doing 150 miles an hour?
Yeah, it's not going to be funny anymore.
No, it's not safe for him or the other people that crashed into him. I mean, come on. It's like the all-star race we throw.
Yeah,
and now
right
we
out
like
of the middle of
hold
nowhere.
it.
Caution. I don't know where I stand on it completely. I think for me, it's a safety issue when you have 35 cars running at 180 miles an hour, and then you have one running at 65 miles an hour, and you're going to pass him twice, essentially.
Well,
That's a lot of dangerous where something could go wrong, and it's an unnecessary risk. Now,
I have a solution.
they're not going to be consistent, Jamie. You know that.
Throw the yellow, 1 lap to go. Field's frozen.
And the
So
race is over?
They're passing Brad.
The field is frozen if they throw the caution.
Right. So they're not passing Brad 2 times. They're passing him once. And the second time,
But then
they're
you get a
cooling
restart.
down. No. Wait until lap 2's done.
What, not have a restart?
No, don't. Wait until Chase crosses the finish line to throw the yellow.
Oh, yeah, on the white flag lap. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. You're saying they should have thrown it on the white flag.
If they just observed Brad.
It should have ended under caution it should have been white flag, caution flag, checker flag.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
if
I
they
agree
would have
with
just, yeah, that's
and
how.
I would be okay with that. I'm okay with a race finishing under caution like that for safety. I'm okay with it because I'm a Chase Elliott fan. If I'm a Kyle Busch fan and he's in second place and you do that, I'm not okay with it. So,
but
I think you need to be consistent here. Throw the damn flag and have a restart.
Well,
I hate to say it, but
no, just freeze the field. I agree that if even Kyle Busch is leading, throw the yellow flag and freeze the field, even though that's not who I want to win. Because I don't want a driver to die.
I agree. So just throw the damn though. Like
I can lump it. Well, no, not if Chase is winning.
Hey, Chase won the race and you picked him. Did you realize? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I knew that.
I was like, holy crap, the curse is broken. And guess who I won't be picking no more? Your boy Tyler Blue Balls, because he didn't pull through. So it must be me. It must be me because I can't pick him no more. So Tyler, you're on your own season, bud. You got the rest of the season. So we kind of hit on it a minute ago, and I said I'm good with it, and you're not. 5 p.m. start times.
Nope, don't like it. I
I
want to
don't
get home from church,
I
have
don't like
church
it because I know
supper.
it's going to rain. Like we've had too many rain delayed races because of bad start time. If we would start these things like we have for years, now it's all on the TV. It's 100% TV. But you know what I did yesterday, Jamie? I watched the whole race on Peacock, the app, and you know what? I actually liked it better. I felt the commercials were better. They weren't all about erectile dysfunction. They were actually NASCAR related type commercials mostly. So I didn't have a lot of diabetes commercials and, typical what you get.
Well, I
But
don't get NBC where I live. I had to watch it on the app.
so you watched it on Peacock as well.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
Loved it. I'm good with that. I'm streaming a race like that. I
But
just wish
let
they
me
had a
t-
replay for it. Like if I don't watch it live on Peacock that night, I wish the replay was available.
it
Just
is
like
on
when you
YouTube,
not that
the
night.
whole race. Oh, not that night. You got to wait till the morning. But I'm going to tell you why I don't like that 5 p.m.
Tell me why.
Usually after church and after church supper, I do work around the house. But because of this podcast, everyone knows I have to watch the race. And I can do work after it, but the sun goes down sooner if I don't start the work outside till 7 p.m. If you start the race at 5, let's say I get home at 1 from church, about 2:30, dishes are in the dishwasher. Guess who has to go to work till 5? Me.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, man. My problem was I didn't realize it was a 5 o'clock race. So I had my afternoon plans included watching the race and then doing stuff around the house. I didn't realize it was a 5 o'clock race until about 2:30 when I go looking for pre-race.
This is
That's
what
what threw me
happens
off.
when the world becomes secular, dude. This is what happens.
It's just 100% what happens when you let the TV crews dictate what time we start the race. So here we are in the South. Look, the Atlanta race. It is currently 4:09 p.m. as we record this, and it is raining 8 miles from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So guess what time we're going to start the race in Atlanta in 2 weeks? 3 p.m. We can't run in an hour, people. It rains just about every day in Atlanta in the South during this time of year. And it
Yeah,
rains about 3, 4
basically,
o'clock.
if you're not from the Southeast, at about, well, basically,
2
we're
o'clock.
so humid you don't have to use dry cleaning from about mid-May to mid-September. You just step outside and it's so humid the wrinkles go away.
I mean, I
But
looked
what
this morning, the next 15 days, the forecast for the
rain?
next 15 days, it's going to rain every afternoon. So,
3 or 4 p.m. That's when the rain starts.
which is also coincidentally the exact same time the NASCAR race starts. So, I guess God and NBC and Fox were all on the same schedule. So,
Well, I
it
have
was,
opinion of this. I mean, NASCAR, I know it's nationwide. It's the number one racing in the country. But, and there, people will argue where headquarters is for NASCAR. Some will say Daytona, some will say Charlotte. But as we have been to both, it's very humid at both places.
oh,
But
1,000%.
where's Fox and NBC headquartered at? New York, LA?
Probably
I've been there.
not very humid.
No. The sun goes down in New York in August, and guess what? It's nice.
They just don't understand what we go through in the Southeast.
No.
Well, speaking of Fox and NBC, NBC is back. NBC
AMF,
is
Fox.
better, man.
And if any of you guys are from the North, like my father was, you know what AMF stands for. AMF Fox. Suarez knows what that first word is. Adios. Just guess what MF stands for.
I'm just glad NBC's back because I even texted you and said it's night and day, but that's a bad analogy. I mean, because it's even more than that. Like Fox, for example, they like to make fun of their fans and make fun of the sport during pre-race. They make a joke out of it, turn it into a three-ring circus. Where they make it out to be a serious professional sport. They treat the fans like normal people. They give us information that's relatable to the race at hand, not a dancing, singing watermelon seed. Fox, they miss whole wrecks. They miss the action. They'll talk about the action, but they never show it on TV.
They won't even send a booth to the race.
They miss flips. NBC, they show multiple camera angles. Fox, for example, they end the broadcast barely interviewing the race winner. NBC, they have an hour-long show that comes on after the race called post-race coverage. It's quite nice. They interview all
Fox
the
has something that comes after the race called European Soccer.
Fox, for the last few years, they've used children comic book characters to represent the all-stars of our sport. They've used cheap graphic packages that
Wouldn't
really
you like
just
to
make a
shove
joke
some
out
of
our
those?
sport.
Wouldn't you like to shove some of those executives up the gopher hole?
The bottom line is NBC takes it serious, man. Like from the graphics package to their booth. Fox only has two guys in the booth and a rotating third analyst between random guests. No offense to the random guests. They did, most of them at least, did okay. But NBC has four analysts in their booth, four full-time analysts at that, who do a phenomenal job every week.
But you know what? I've got an example of where you can be funny covering racing without putting people down. And all you have to do is watch Sirix racing. Can you imagine if
Connor
CBS got them?
Connor Daly does so good in the booth.
Yeah, but can you imagine if they got NASCAR and used that crew when the contract's up with Fox? We would have to complain about other things.
I saw people complaining about the start time of the race at NBC and saying they handled the rain delay bad by changing the channel. Look, they change the channel every time. If it's a major network and there's a rain delay, it goes to their second network. It has been for years now. I'm sorry. You can't complain about that anymore. It's kind of getting old. So,
here's what I feel.
NBC did the best they could with the cards they were dealt.
Here's what I feel bad. If you're a fan and you don't have that other channel they go to. So, I watch a lot of racing, lower classes, Trans Am, Porsche, Carrera Division, on YouTube Live. That should be in the contract that if you dump it to a smaller or regional cable channel or whatever you want to call it, you have to also run it live on YouTube. So we don't screw the fans over.
I'm good with that, but you'd have to know to go to YouTube then.
Well, they can tell you that, and they can even run their ads during YouTube. That's what the other classes do. Do they need an agreement with YouTube to do that?
Probably, but they ran it live on Peacock, which you can download for free. So
I pay for Peacock. Is there a free version?
I'm pretty sure there is. I think I pay for it too, but
I mean, it's not like $5 a month.
Another thing, so in the pits, we were talking about Joe Gibbs drivers, right? Christopher Bell, when we were talking about him earlier.
I think he's toast.
He was running just as good as the other three Gibbs drivers until BJ McLeod got in his way. BJ didn't do anything wrong, but I do not think if you're 4 or 5 laps down and you're 6 or 7 seconds off the pace, you need to be the storyline. You should not be on pit road with lead lap cars, period. Even if you're coming in and they're going out. The only reason you're coming in when they're going out is because you're 8 seconds off the pace.
So what's your solution for that? A little five pit back stretch pit road?
I don't know. I mean, there's no fair solution. You know what I mean? It's just frustrating when it happens. I know it doesn't happen all the time. So when I say it doesn't happen, I mean these cars shouldn't be on pit road. They have every right to be there too. I
I mean,
honestly,
my
if you're
feeling
6 to 8
is
seconds off the pace, you shouldn't be on the dang track. Period.
my
That's
feeling is
NASCAR should do something about that.
it makes it an obstacle race. It's just part of the field or the track.
Instead of a debris caution, we have Rick Ware and BJ McLeod.
Yeah. We met those guys. They're nice people.
It was a hot weekend at Nashville this weekend. The Xfinity drivers really dealt with the heat probably more than the Cup drivers because of the rain delay yesterday. But AJ Allmendinger jumps out of the car Saturday and has to dump ice on his heels because of the excess heat coming up through the exhaust of the floorboards. And Sam Mayer says he was struggling to think straight during the race due to the heat. I couldn't imagine doing it at that heat. Like, I'm in heating and air. So are you. We're both in heating and air. But
Yeah.
I've done installs in the South, in Georgia, in the middle of the summer, in attics where it's 138 degrees.
140. Yeah.
But you just do it. Like, I couldn't imagine driving a car at 180 miles an hour in that heat.
But what did you learn? When we were young and
To
we're in an
not stay in
attic,
the heat.
well, no, we'd have to stay there till it was done. We learned that water is not enough. I mean, you need to
No.
replace electrolytes to keep from cramping, and that means a Gatorade or some other
Well,
sports drink.
it's a week-long preparation. So, by the time summer hit, you were hydrated. But you
Oh,
had to
yeah.
continue to hydrate every day, all day, every day, every night at home, every morning. You have to be hydrating. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. And then you can't go out and just get hammered on the weekend and then hydrate Sunday night. I mean, these
There's no
guys are
parties on the weekends.
these guys
Yeah.
are staying hydrated 7 days a week right now, and they have to.
And what did we do? 20-minute drink break. 20-minute drink break. You had to prioritize what you need to do, which would be the hardest and the longest, and do that early in the morning. And do the cleanup, the simplest things, because you're brain dead. I mean, with us, an 8-hour shift, with them, the end of the race, you're literally brain dead. I mean,
Oh,
you don't
no
know what
doubt.
you're doing.
Well,
Before we even drove home, we hydrated some more so we wouldn't wreck the car.
well,
But
speaking
anyway,
of speaking of driving, nenext week we're going to Elkhart
I got
Lake,
one more thing to
Wisconsin.
say about that, Brad.
About what? About being
Well, when
hot?
we were installing air conditioners, we didn't get paid $5 million a year.
So you think because they make $5 million a year, they should be more hydrated than us?
Did we have a helmet blowing cold air into our heads?
I don't
No.
think that's cold air though. That's about like that fan we used to install, or we just set up in the attic with us to blow the hot air from the
It
attic
didn't
onto
really
us.
do squat either.
Yeah, it's probably like that helmet air. All right,
No,
Jamie,
I feel bad for him.
we're going to Wisconsin. What hotels do we not want to stay at while in Wisconsin, sir?
Well, Brad, you know what I've said about the Midwesterners? I married one. They're not much for words. So a few of these hotels, I had to get a few of their one sentence or one word reviews.
They're great though.
They are. So the Starlight Hotel.
So
I want to say something too. There are a lot of good hotels up there.
yeah,
This wasn't an easy task.
yeah. I run every week. I always glance through reviews myself, and I'm glad this is your responsibility each week because I wasn't finding anything good.
I kind of want to go up. I mean, I saw some crappy hotels that were rated 4.2s, and I read the reviews, and I didn't get any. I was like, man, these guys must really keep this place up. Well, anyway, these are not the places that are really kept up. So let's go to the Starlight Motel. Ryan Nielsen on Google gave it a 1 out of 5. It's got this long thing. Do not stay here.
Do not.
Had a family emergency and had to cancel the room. But the guy on the phone was very rude and refused to refund our money. Well, within the 24-hour period. Clearly, they are desperate for money. But let's not discuss the Starlight yet. We got 3 more. Then we can discuss it. So then we have a Randy Peltzer. Starlight in still. 1 out of 5. This place gets less than 1. You know what? This guy's got it going on. He didn't go 0 on us.
Close, though.
Yeah, but he said less than 1. That could be, what, 3/4 of 1?
But you can't pick 3. 1 is the lowest you can pick. That's my whole point about this 0 star trap. 1. When you look, it's pick a rating between 1 and 5. It doesn't say if you really don't like it, you can opt in for 0. No, it's 1 to 5. 0 comes before 1. So we're starting at 1, not 0.
The second sentence is the good one. Owner's boy can't hold a job. So he's there thinking he's a millionaire and raises rates 50% when daddy's not around. You think Randy went to high school with the hotel owner's son and they got a problem?
Yeah, they ain't.
And then here's the rest of them. Brian Nate. Bugs. Tammy Durkin. Disgusting. That's all they put. So
here's what I got. You want to stay at the Starlight Motel because clearly they're desperate for money. They're very rude people. They have bugs and it's disgusting. And the owner is a millionaire.
Well, here's the thing. Have you noticed that there's some millionaires out there that go after every penny like it's their first one?
Yeah, but that's owner. Well, it says owner's boy. So the owner's son can't hold a job.
And he obviously doesn't clean it, and there's bugs, and he won't refund any money. And I believe, now you and I gave up a night at a crappy hotel. Let's just be honest. A shitty hotel because we didn't give them notice within 24 hours. We gave it up. My problem was the following nights. But anyway, they gave notice within 24 hours or before 24 hours. Should have given them the money back, in my opinion. Should have been returned. And I don't doubt that it's disgusting.
Disgusting.
It's like Helio has possessed me.
Julio Castor Nevers.
It's disgusting, as Tammy says, and as Brian says, bugs.
Yeah, bugs.
Bugs.
Like Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, could be.
Bugsy. All right, where are we going next?
We're going to the Plymouth Inn.
Man, if you're sleeping in the back of a car, it's definitely going to have some bad reviews.
It is, and they don't even make Plymouths anymore. When they cancel Plymouth, 20.
Yes, back in the 60s, I think.
Well, back in the 60s, they made a badass car, man. I was a big fan of the Barracuda and the Cuda. The rest of them, though, not so much. Anyway, Patty Hartman gave it a 1 out of 5. She says, and I don't think she's from the Midwest because we're talking a paragraph here. The rate might be good, but the room was nothing to be desired.
What's that mean?
I don't know. Well, she goes further. Listen. Okay. There were holes in curtains, wood behind the bed on the floor, which is, what the hell does that mean? Just cordwood, like logs for a fireplace, or even if it's 2x4s.
Maybe there's a guy. Maybe that's a guy.
Why is it under there? Torn lampshades with dim lighting. Well, really shouldn't be. Shouldn't light be poking out of the tears? A terrible, terrible bath mat and shower. Moulin shower curtain. What does that mean? Moulin. Wasn't that?
It's a movie.
Yeah. Moulin Rouge?
That's probably mold.
But later, right after that, she goes, Moulin shower curtain with mold. So it's something different. Or rust. And then she goes, totally forgets her math. It very cheap. The soap was so small, I wouldn't give it to a homeless people. Huh.
To a homeless people?
Wow. Yeah. Homeless people.
That a whole
No.
group?
Yeah. As nice as it looked, I doubt they have a high homeless population. But I've never been there. I don't know. It looks like a resort town, though. So, and my wife is from Minnesota. You ain't going to be around there homeless if it's wintertime. I mean, they're getting 20 feet of snow or something crazy like that. No night lighting for safety. TP about 1 ply, really. Now that pisses me off.
Oh, man.
There's nothing worse than finger breakage.
That's that John Wayne paper. Tough as nails and don't take shit off nobody.
But if you have breakage, you're going to have to, brush your teeth and give up the toothbrush.
Loses her English skills, too, because it's like, period, no night lighting for safety, period. TP about 1 ply, really, exclamation point.
She's yelling that. I guess she had breakage. That she was really pissed.
TV had static.
Or other problems.
But I mean, she went from being very, very well, in her literature skills. Her math was very well in the beginning, and now very poor. And we're not even at the end of the first paragraph.
Patty Hartman, I apologize. I now see proof that you are from the Midwest because you said no products in pop or snack machines.
Yep.
My wife calls soda pop.
Yep.
No, that sounded like I said soda pop, but the term they use is pop, where I use soda. Actually,
Coke.
Being from Georgia, we just say Coca-Cola. We don't say anything else. We go to a restaurant and they say, what do you want to drink? And we say Coca-Cola. Actually, I was with Brad and about 7 or 8 other employees. We were in Dallas, Texas. And we go to a restaurant at the airport. And it had great reviews for an airport restaurant. It was a burger shack. And we sit down and the waitress comes over and we all say, she says, what would you like to drink? And we all say Coca-Cola. And everybody said Coca-Cola. And she said, we only have Pepsi. And we all got up and left. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just how we are. That's how we were raised. But anyway, no, you can't. I mean, and I don't have a problem for you Pepsi people to do the same thing. It's how you're raised. But anyway, she says towels were shredding. What does that mean? In front of her face, they were cutting. They were just, it's like a cheese grater, just shredding the sucker in her face. A ghost had to be doing it. So this place is haunted, dude. The towels were shredding by themselves. And they never matched. Well, I've shredded paper. Do you know if they match after you shred them?
Why does she care if the towels match? It's not like she's at home.
They really needed some downing for freshness. Really? What? Cheese grated towels needed downing. I don't think so.
Hell?
I'm starting to doubt Patty here.
I'm doubting her very much so. Now she's just
making shit up.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't stay at the Plymouth Inn, but
oh, no doubt.
Coffee hookup wasn't convenient. Now she's getting petty. God dang it.
But the mug's good.
That's the best thing she had. And then she says, Really? Did she just, I would have stolen it then if it was that bad of an experience. So I had a nice mug when I got home. No microphone. Microphone. I don't have a microphone because I have COVID. No microwave, as stated. And told then to use a very small one in front room. Does she mean the lobby?
Probably.
Is this her first stay at a hotel?
Probably.
The fridge belonged in a camper. Maybe she lives in a camper full time. And barely held her items. Guests were noisy above. Usually you ask for quiet by 11 p.m. The next night, very noisy at 3 a.m. by people.
Okay, Karen.
What was above her the night before? Was it not people? Was it rats? Man. It's the ghost. The ghost was up there, the one that shreds the towels.
Pat, new Karen.
Man,
Come
Patty,
on,
yeah.
Dolores, let's get it together.
Wow. Door shut as we were organizing to leave. Patty, you don't sound very organized.
No.
Had no key. Really? You checked out before you left your room. That's stupid. She's got no common sense either. A tinty. Look at that. A tinty. It's not a tindy. A tinty. Came and opened. No shoes on poor public appearance.
I have no idea what the whole last sentence says. Door shut as we were organizing to leave, had no key, so a tentee came and opened. No shoes on, poor public appearance.
Is she saying the attente didn't wear shoes?
Yeah, I think so. She's saying the attente came and opened. She left out a bunch of words though, like with no shoes on. This is a poor public appearance, probably. I don't know, but yeah,
Brad, attente sounds French to me. Do we have any? I mean, I'm gonna check with a.
That's like some toe cheese.
I'm gonna check with a Puerto Rican friend of mine about how you say Castroneves' first name. Do we need to find a French friend? We have a French friend. He's French Canadian. Pierre. All right. We need to talk to Pierre about that one. Maybe she's French Canadian. But she does conclude very poor representation for Plymouth, noted for other very good things. An area visited so many times. I'm still confused with her last sentence there.
Her whole, though, she started off strong. First 2 sentences of her review, great. The next 22 sentences sucked. Not even sentences. It's not even descriptions. I mean, TP one ply, TV static, other problems, no products, pop, snack, machines, towel shredding, never matched, mugs good, ha, no microwave, small one in the front office.
In my humble opinion, she was sober when she started.
He was drunk.
Took a break. Took a break. Turned the TV on. It was staticky with other problems. Maybe audio, because no picture, no audio. That's about all you got to worry about.
All right, where are we going next?
Then she got drunk.
Oh yeah, she was drunk when she started.
Or she started doing some meth.
Probably. Meth Falcon got her.
Yeah. Well, we got summary
at the Thunderbird Motel.
Yep.
So you go from the Plymouth to the Thunderbird.
I got a couple of those too to make it interesting. And as I sit in my car, just to let NASCAR know, it looks like it's going to rain soon.
Probably should schedule a race.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, or you'll hear rain hitting my car while I give my Prius COVID. All right. So summary 1 out of 5. She says horrible experience. Dirty sheets. Nothing was clean. Worst customer service. Said we had to clean our own room when we left. You're the maid service for the next guest. Paid for our stay and said we owed them more money when we tried to leave. Always shirtless when I went to the front desk. Now, Patty thought the dude with no shoes was unprofessional.
How about no shirt?
Maybe they're owned by the same family.
Plymouth Thunderbird.
Yeah, maybe it's the same family. They own a chain there, and they rip off tourists. Then we have Shad Brown. Same hotel, guys. Same hotel.
Thunderbird Motel.
Yep. He says bed bugs told owner was getting bit.
The bed bugs were talking.
He said, I know bugs. So he's friends with them. They are talking.
He knew what the owner saying.
Yeah, he's buddies with them. But then it gets just wackier. Turn on air and the microwave breaker trips. It sounds like they're on the same circuit, but maybe not. Who knows? Went behind building. He was washing all towels and sheets in one 5-gallon bucket, hanging them on a dry line. The shirtless dude cleans things in a 5-gallon bucket.
This is horrible.
Oh, what a dump. You can't go to Lowe's and just buy a residential washer and dryer. Shit. I hope that cough is just from laughing so hard.
He's washing them in a bucket and drying them in the microwave.
What the hell? Did he use soap? Probably not. Well, the owner responds. No one has complained about the bed bugs beside you. And upon inspection, we haven't found any bed bugs. As far as power tripping is very common, and it happens in bigger franchise hotel.
Never had that happen, dude. And I've literally stayed in
neither have I.
hotels.
In Motel as well. Regarding drying towels, we have contract with Baytowel, and you must have seen. Yeah, you must have seen cleaning towels.
Yeah, they clean the towels outside in a 5-gallon bucket.
But then he corrects himself. He says he's basically saying I didn't do it, but then he says you must have seen cleaning towels. Yeah, you're cleaning the towels, dude. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, you saw them cleaning the towels in a 5-gallon bucket in the parking lot.
So, because the owner first said he knows bed bugs, and then he replies that there are no bed bugs.
Well, he just didn't know them kind of bed bugs.
Well, Tony Forster also gave a review and attempted to stay there on Sunday 10/1. When we checked in, the heat wouldn't work. As a result, we were moved to another room. The room was decent, but a short time later, we discovered bugs in the bed. We have picture proof. Oh boy. We approached the owner about the issue. He took offense to it. Well, we know he did because he says he doesn't have them. We asked to be moved to a different room, and he refused to cooperate. The hotel was not full. We then chose to leave. We handed in the key, and the owner still argued against the bugs. In addition, my credit card was charged when I should have been refunded. Cooperation would have been a long way, but that helped us make the choice to leave. Would not recommend. So that's not very funny, but it just shows that more than one person, even though he says no one's ever made the accusation. So
I still can't get over the owner running around washing the towels
in a 5-gallon
bucket with no shirt on.
Now,
you think he was pissed about the no shoes? Imagine what Patty, Miss Karen, would have said if she would have seen him washing her shredded towels in a bucket with no shirt on. That's worse than a hillbilly jumping out of a hole.
And we were young. When we were young in the air conditioning business, we were told to get 2 5-gallon buckets, one to carry your tools to the attic and the other for, because something happens when you get dehydrated. Let's not go any further because everyone has an air conditioner and you don't want to know what we have to do while we're dying to put in your air conditioner, and we know we can't make it to your bathroom. This is why don't complain when you get charged what you think is a lot of money. Because those guys up in your attic are about to die.
Literally. All right. We are going to Road America. That is a 4.048 mile road course. It is an asphalt track. So concrete chase wouldn't really work, but it is a road course. It has 14 different turns. It will seat 150,000 people. Road America Incorporated is the owner. First race was 1955. First NASCAR race was last year. The race will be on USA Network and Peacock, as well as MRN, and it is a 3 p.m. start time. Should be a good race. The only thing about this track I don't like, Jamie, is if there's a caution, it's like a 30-minute caution because it's a 4-mile track.
Yeah.
So it's just
I don't know how to fix that either.
I don't either. It's not like there's a cut through halfway through that we can shorten it up or something. I mean, I don't think there is a fix for it. So, but with this being a new track last year, there's not a lot of fantasy stats off of it. So I've got the top finishing order of last year's race. Chase Elliott was the winner of the first race at Road America. Christopher Bell finished second. Kyle Busch brought it home third, with his brother Kurt finishing fourth. Kurt's team owner Denny Hamlin finished fifth. Chase Briscoe sixth. Ross, the Watermelon Man Chastain, finished seventh. Tyler Blue Balls Tyler. God, I can't even say his last name right anymore.
Isn't he Red Balls though?
I guess we could Red Balls. Red Balls. That Dave Chappelle skit.
Yeah.
Red Balls gives you wings. Tyler Reddick finished eighth. Mark Truex Jr. ninth. 10th would have been Benedetto, but he's not racing in the Cup Series anymore, so that didn't matter.
It doesn't look like it actually looks like he's given up in the Truck Series.
Pretty much, he's not racing there either. Ross Chastain won at COTA this year in the new car, and his teammate Daniel Suarez won the most recent road course race at Sonoma. I thought that was important as you make your fantasy picks, just to know that. So, fantasy picks for Road America for the 4th of July race is Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, and Daniel Suarez.
Sounds like good picks. Solid. Solid picks. I'm going to say the winner's going to be Daniel Suarez. He's still a little high after that last win.
All right.
He's back on a road course. I'm going to say because of the nice finish yesterday, Kurt Busch will be my second pick. Harvick looks solid. Going with Harvick. And I'm going my new friend.
Your new friend?
Denny Hamlin.
Denny.
My fourth pick.
That's not bad. I think
Denny.
That Harvick pick's really throwing one to the wolves, but you could have went with Rick Ware and had about just as good of a shot.
I don't know. I think Harvick's building up steam.
To what? Die? He's not doing anything else. He's not winning.
I think if he wins this year, he's gonna retire this year.
We get excited because he finished 10th yesterday, and we're like, "Yes, old Harvick, he's getting better. He finished 10th."
He was up there front for a minute or two.
Yeah, I mean, even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah, that's what people keep telling me.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Could have said that if I keep picking Elliott, I'll get it right eventually.
Hey, I mean, he won, so the curse is broken. Yeah, guys, well, I think that's about it. I really appreciate everyone who follows us, who shares our show on social media, listens each week. We greatly appreciate it. Check us out on Spotify. Make sure you rate us. Follow us on Twitter. It's @CarBackwards. Subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcast. And make sure to check out our website, racecarbackwards.com. And don't forget, we will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway this coming Thursday, June 30th. I think the racing starts about 5 p.m. Qualifying starts somewhere around 5-ish for the Legends Cars Championship. Make sure check us out if you're in town.
If we're all healthy, hopefully we'll be in the studio next week.
That's right, guys. And we have air conditioning, so I'm looking forward to recording.
Brad did an upgrade.
Studio.
Yeah. Digital recorder and air conditioning.
Yeah, no more of this call-in crap until August, right?
Well, yeah, I got to go on a business trip. Well, you got to go away too, so we're going to have a couple more. It's going to sound like bad Zoom meetings to all of you that are used to it on a daily basis, but we strive to improve every episode.
That's right, guys. Guys, we appreciate everything. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to a race car spelled backwards.